Welcome back everyone. So in today's video I will be showing you how to transform Amazon Athena tables using DBT, and also how to visualize your transformed data using Amazon QuickSight. Alright, so let's get to it. Okay, so like I mentioned in today's video, I will be showing you how to transform tables in Amazon Athena using DBT Core. And also, I will be showing you how to visualize your transformed tables using Amazon QuickSight. Okay, so this is the high-level architecture that we will be covering in this video. So basically, what we will do is we will have our tables in Amazon Athena, and of course Amazon Athena will be connected to Glue, which will be also getting our data from S3. So S3 will be our storage, and we will create our tables in Glue, or we will create our catalog in Glue pointing to the files in S3, and then Athena will be connecting to our catalog to get those tables. And then from there we will connect DBT to the tables in Athena, do some transformations, and then we will write our transformed data into a transformed schema. And then from there we will have QuickSight connect to our transformed schema, and then basically visualize those tables. Alright, so this is the data flow and the high level architecture. Okay, so let's get into the demo. Alright, so the first thing that I will do is go over to AWS, and we will basically set up our data. So we will have our data in S3, create the crawlers to create this catalog, and we will have the tables available in Athena. And then from there, we'll go ahead and set up our DBT to transform this data, and then eventually we will go to QuickSight, create our dashboards that is using those transformed tables. Alright, so I'm going to jump over now to my AWS environment. Okay, so I am going to go right here. Okay, so I will close the rest of these other tabs. Okay, and what we will do here is that we want to set up our S3 location to have the files that we'll be using in this demo. So I'm going to go over to S3, and I'm just, you can type S3 here, and S3 is just your data lake or your storage locations where you can put your files, right? And what I will do here, I think this is I will ignore this bucket. Okay, so I'm going to go to this bucket. This is the bucket where I have my files. So I'm going to go to this bucket, and I will show you what I have for the files. So inside incoming, I have this classic models folder here, which contains the tables I will be using. So I have segmented this into each folder because this is how Glue likes, because I want to bring all of these files into Athena. Okay, so you do need to create the folders for each and include the files for the same. Okay, so here I have customers here holding the customer file, employees holding employees file, order details the same thing, and the rest of these other ones. Okay, and if you're wondering where I got this data, I basically, this is classic models. It's sample data that you can use in MySQL, and if you want to download it, you can download so from Kaggle. Okay, so classic models sample data, sample database, right? So if you do this, you can see that we have actually the files in Kaggle. So I'll put this link in the description as well, so that you can go ahead and download it. So basically, this is how the entity relationship looks like, and you can read here. This is my SQL sample database schema for the following tables: customers to store customer data, products to store a list of scale model cars, and the rest of this. So you can read through this. We will be just using this data in this demo, and all you have to do is just go ahead and download this and download the zipped file, and then this will contain, once you unzip the file, it will contain the files for it in CSV format, and then you can go ahead and upload it to your S3 location. You can structure yours like this if you want. So basically, you can just create a folder, and on each of this file, you have to create its own subfolder, like so. Okay. So this is the S3 location now. So I've gone ahead and uploaded those files here. Okay, and then the next thing is because Athena works with AWS Glue, what we want to do next then is to go over to Glue and create a crawler that is going to be crawling our data into Glue catalog, right? So I'm going to go here and I will just look for Glue here, and Glue is a serverless ETL tool, so you can write your jobs here, your queries and all of that. Okay, so this is a Glue dashboard, and basically what I need to do is I'm going to focus on this section here for data catalog. And what I will do is I will go to crawlers, and we want to create a crawler to that S3 location. So I'm going to name this one S3 crawler. All right, S3 crawler, and we want to add the data source for that one. So the data source will be S3, and the location, I use the same account, so I'm just going to browse to that location. So it's inside incoming data, inside classic models. Okay, so I just want to select classic models in this case, and choose this, select this. All right, and then from there I want to crawl all subfolders. Okay, so that's good. We will click next here, and then you do need an IAM role so that Glue is able to crawl your data from S3 and create necessary catalogs and the tables here as well. So I'm just going to name this one S3 Athena, right? Okay, maybe name this one role. There we go. Okay, so we'll create this one. There's an error here. This is duplicate. Looks like I've created this one before, so let's name this one maybe Athena role. Don't know if this one also exists. This one is duplicate. Very nice. Okay, Glue Athena role. Okay, there we go. So this one is good. All right, so I've created this role, and we just select this role, right? We select this role, and now this role is going to be able, Glue is going to use this role to connect to S3 and create the necessary information that we need for us here. So it's going to create the crawlers, going to create the tables here as well, and then this will be the tables now that we can query from Athena. I will click next here. For the database, we do need a database, so I'm just going to add a database here, and I will name this one classic models DP. Okay, and then we'll create this database, go back here, refresh this, and we'll select that database. Okay, and then so for the rest of this, I'm not going to select anything here. I'm going to leave those ones default, and then I'll click next here, and we'll go ahead and create this crawler. Okay, so this crawler has been created now, and the next thing we want to do is run this crawler to crawl and create our metadata from S3. So I'm just going to hit here, run crawler, and this one is going to crawl this location in S3, and hopefully if all is good, it's going to create our tables right here. Okay, so I'm just going to let this run, and once it is done, we will come back and see what happens. Okay, so we can see now that our crawler is stopping. That means that it should have added those tables. So what we need to do from here is navigate over to tables here, and if we refresh this, we should be able to see the tables. There we go. So you can see now that we have all our files available here, and if you click into one of these, you can see the column names. So you can see the column names and the associated data types. Very nice. Okay, so that means that we have our data now available here in Glue catalog. And so what we need to do from here now is to go over to Athena, right, and see if these tables are showing up in Athena. Okay, so I'm going to go here, and I will search for Athena, which is your serverless interactive analytics service. I will open this in a new tab, and there you go. Okay, so if you refresh this, you can now see that you have your classic models DP here created, and you have your tables available here as well. Okay, so we do have those 8 tables created, and you can see that this is pointing our data source to AWS data catalog, which is our clue catalog, and we do have those tables. Let's see if we can preview data on one of these tables. Okay, there we go. So you can see that we have data actually available here, so you can actually write your queries from here now to interact with your tables, right? So basically, if you just wanted to play with Athena and S3, then you can do so from here. And I did a video previously where I went through a similar process where I was connecting Athena to S3, and once we're here, we can query our data. So if you want to run analytics against files in S3, then you can do something like this, where you create your crawler in Clue, and then when you come to Athena, then you can start querying your files. Okay, so this is good. So we have our tables now available here. So what happens next now is that we want to go over to DBT, and what we will do is we will have DBT read these tables, use these tables, and we will do some transformations using DBT, and we will write those transformed tables into another schema. Now that schema, DBT will create it for us. We don't have to create that. And that is a schema that we will use in our QuickSight, okay? So that we can visualize our data. So I'm going now over to my local environment, and we'll set up DBT. So for that, I'm going to open my Visual Studio Code here. Okay, and so basically what I have here is a continuation of what I was doing before. So in my last video, I went through the process of connecting DBT core to Amazon Athena. So in that video, I basically showed you what you need to do in order to be able to successfully connect to Athena. And now in this video today, I will pick up from where I left in that video, okay? So what we did in that video is we created this Athena project here, and we were able to successfully connect to Athena after we did that. So we created this project. This project created as the rest of this structure, and basically in this video, all I'm doing is picking up from there. So we will go to models and create our transformed or write our transformation queries, and then when we run this DBT, these transformation queries will be created as fields in Athena, and then we will go ahead and use those ones in our dashboards. Okay, so just to refresh you, what we did last time was we created our virtual environment, Python virtual environment, and then we installed the DBT core and DBT adapter, and then from there we went ahead and initialized our project. So what I'm going to be showing you now here is how to use these tables that we have created right now. Okay, so the first thing that I want to show you is our schema YAML. So I've created this schema YAML that is pointing into Athena, right? So because we already have our connections working with Athena, the next thing that we just want to do is connect to Athena, right? So right here in my sources, I'm naming these sources classic models, and for the database, we want to specify this as AWS data catalog, and this one is basically this one right here. So this is the data source here in Athena, so you want to put that one right here. And then for the schema, we want to put the schema where our tables are located. So for that one, it is basically this one here, classic models, and this is the one that Clue created for us. Okay, so we have our classic models DB here, and then I've just listed here the tables that are contained in this schema right here. Okay, so these are the tables, and now I will be using these tables in our models to transform this data. So I've created here 3 models that do different things. So let's go through the first one here for monthly revenue. So this monthly revenue is basically going to calculate for us the monthly revenue using the payments table. So assuming that we have sold our products and customers have paid us, and we are storing that information in payments. So we basically just want to calculate our monthly revenue based on the information that we have in the payments table. Okay, so on top here, what I'm doing here is basically creating the configurations here. So I'm configuring this to be materialized as a view when we create it in Athena. And in the last video, I showed you actually that Athena only likes views. So when you create your models, I think currently only views are supported in Athena. So you want to materialize them as views. Maybe this feature will change down the road, and we should be and we'll be able to write tables. But currently, I could not get tables to work. So looks like this, like Athena only supports views. So I'm going to materialize this then as a view, and I'm going to name this model here monthly revenue. So that means that when we create this, when we run this model, it's going to be created as monthly revenue view in the Athena side of things. Okay, so basically all I'm just doing here is just getting the payment date and trimming it to a month, and we are summing up the amount in the payments table, and basically rounding it up to 2 decimal places, and that will be our total revenue. Of course, we have to group it by month to get our total revenue. So very basic query here. This is just going to get us our monthly revenue. So you can basically, you can of course do a lot of things. You can, scale this up and do a lot of major transformations. But this is, I'm just doing something basic just to show you how it works. Okay. And then the other model I have here is this one for sales by employees or sales reps. So let's say we have our employees going out there doing sales. Then we want to aggregate the amount of sales by each employee. So in this case, we are joining employee table to customers to payments. So basically, from employees, we are getting the first name and last name, and we are calling this one sales rep. And then for the next one here, we are getting the amount from the payments table right here. And we are also doing customers because we want to see they are selling to customers, so we want to join our customers to employees right here. Okay. And then basically down here we want to group this by sales rep, and that is pretty much it. Okay. And then here again we are materializing this as a view, and I'm naming this model here sales by rep. So basically this is going to get us the amount of sales that each rep has made. Okay, and when we run this, it's going to be created as a sales rep. All right, so this is how this one looks like. Also another basic model here. And then I have a third one here, top sales by product. So also this is going to be a view, and when we run this, it's going to be created as a as product sales. Again, this is total sales by product line. So in this case, we are just getting the information from order details and also products, and we are summing, we are multiplying quantity ordered from order details table and the price of each order item, okay, to get the total sales. And also grouping by the product line, and also again we are materializing this one as a view. Another very basic model as well, so nothing crazy going on here, just doing some basic aggregations. So these are the three models that I do have in this inside our models now. And now the next thing that we will do is to go ahead and run these models. So before we run our models, I want to show you one more thing. In the previous video where we went through the setup to connect DBT to Athena, a profiles file was created for us, and there is some critical information that was kept there. So I'm going to quickly show you that file. Okay, so that file is in my users directory, right? So it's going to be inside your users directory. There will be a .dbt folder, right? .dbt folder is right here. So I'm just going to go there. Okay, .dbt, and right here you have your profiles file. So I'm just going to output the contents for this file. Okay, so and we just want to focus on this top part here. Okay, so what you will see here is the DBT schema here. This is what you want to pay attention to, and this is significant because when we run our DBT models, what this DBT, what our project is going to do, or when we run it, what DBT is going to do is it's going to scan our profiles for Athena specifically, and it's going to look at the schema, and this is where it will be writing our transformed views to. Okay, so it's going to be writing it into this location. So if you want to modify this, then you can come into this file and modify it and specify where you want to write your final queries to, right, or your models to. So in this case, it's going to be this DBT Athena. So just so that once we run this, you don't get surprised, where these things are getting written to. So the location where you are writing these files to will be in your profiles. If you want, you can also specify here, right? Like the schema here, you can do something like schema and specify the schema right here. Let's say DBT Athena, like so. You can do something like this. But in my case, I will leave it inside the schema in the profiles location. Okay? So before we run this, if we go here, you will see that we only have classic models, DP, and the default one. Now DBT is going to do the rest of the work for us. So if we run this, when we run our models here, DBT is going to create that DBT Athena schema for us. If it does not exist, it's going to create it. And of course, if it's there, then it's going to use it. So in our case, it's not there. And where it's going to write to is in catalog. Okay, so it's going to write this in our clue catalog. So if you check our databases here, we only have two. So what DBT is going to do is it's going to create a database here, or a schema here, called DBT Athena, and then it's going to create our tables inside that schema, or our fields inside that schema. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that I show you this so that it makes sense once we run our model. Okay, so now that we are cool with that, then we'll go ahead and run this. Okay, so I'm going to run all of these models here, and to do that, all you have to do is do DBT run, and then just click enter. Okay, now if you wanted to run for a specific model, then you will do only select, and then enter the name of the model for that one. So in this case, you could do something like this for revenue, and then just enter it right here, and then when you click enter, it's only going to run for revenue. Again, in this since this is going to be my first run, I'm just going to run everything. And then when this is done, we will be able to see if everything runs fine. We should be able to see that 3 fields will be created in Athena under DBT Athena schema. Okay, so I'm going to now click enter on this, and let's see what happens. Okay, so looks like things are looking good so far. Awesome. All right, so our first run here, DBT Athena, you can see DBT underscore Athena, we have monthly revenue. And the rest of this. Okay, and yeah, so we successfully created our fields, and our DBT model ran without issues. And you can actually see it from the logs here that we have our monthly revenue created, we have sales rep created, and also product sales created. So that means that we should now be able to query this from Athena side of things. Okay, so I'm now going to switch over to Athena. Okay, so this is clue. If we refresh this, we will be able to see Athena here. So you can see we have DBT Athena, which is the schema that DBT created for us, and also you can see the fields as well created here. So if you open this field here, you can see that we have 2 columns here, months and total revenue, and the same thing with the rest of the other ones, right? So, and if you refresh this, we should be able to see more tables as well. Okay, so you can browse based on the database, and you will see that we have our 3 tables or fields created here. Now, if we go over to Athena, we should also be able to see the same. So if I refresh this, you can see that now we have another schema here created, and if you select that, you can see now that we have our fields created right here. Okay, so you can now preview this, and we should be able to see the data. There we go, lovely. So you can now see this is the monthly revenue. So you can see for this month, for March 2004, we had this much of revenue, and you know, just the rest of these years and the related months, right? Okay, and then with product sales, the same thing. If you preview this, we should be able to see our products like trains. This is the amount of sales we sold. For ships, this is the amount of sales we made, and you know, you can just see the rest of the data for this one. With sales rep, if you preview this, we can see our sales reps and how much sales they made as well. Okay, awesome. So now we are able to successfully write our transformed tables or fields into a different schema here. Of course, our source was from classic models. We used DBT to transform the tables here in this schema here, and then the transformed tables or fields, we have written them right here. Okay, so now from here, let's assume that this is now where our analytics teams will be getting this data from, and they will just be connecting to these tables or fields and creating their dashboards. So now let's go ahead and create our dashboards with QuickSight. Okay, and QuickSight is a PI tool or a dashboard that AWS provides that you can use to create your dashboards and run your analytics on. Okay, so I'm just going to go here now and look for QuickSight, and I'm going to open this on a new tab here. All right, so this is QuickSight, and I want us to do this is QuickSight. If you are new to it, you may have to sign in, and once you're signed in, then you can go ahead and create your visuals. So the first thing that I want to do here is to create our data set. So I'm going to create 3 data sets here, and the first one that we are going to create, let's go ahead and name this one product sales, right? And this is going to connect to Athena. Okay, so remember I selected Athena here. You can create connections to, actually let me do that again. So when you create your data set, you want to select the data set. So you can see here we have a number of them. Our data is in Athena, so we are just going to select Athena in this case, and I'm going to name them based on those 3 fields. So I'm going to name this one sales here, product sales, and I will go ahead and create this. Okay, so this one now, you can see Athena is connected to Clue Catalog, and I'm going to select the schema here. Okay, so you can see we have the DBT Athena schema, and for product sales, I'm just going to select that right here. And you can use the spice here. This is good if you want to have in memory enabled for your analytics. I'm going to use direct querying here, and then I will just create visualize for this. And then I will not visualize this one yet. I want to keep adding data sets. Okay, so we have our data set here created, product sales. I want to add another data set for Athena, for sales by rep. Okay, so I've gone ahead and brought the rest of those data sets here. So we have a data set here for monthly revenue, sales by rep, product sales, and basically these are pointing to those fields in Athena, right? So you can just follow the same process that we did for product sales, sales rep. Make sure that at the end you hit visualize so that you are able to bring this data sets here. And once we have done this, so now the next thing that I want to do is go over now to our dashboard. So if you go to dashboards here, or is it analysis? I think it's analysis here. Yeah, so we need to create analysis. So we'll go ahead and create analysis here. And the first one that I want us to visualize is this monthly revenue. So just select this data set here for monthly revenue. And we want to use this in analysis like so, okay? And we go ahead and create this. And for this, I'm going to select here pie chart, okay? And you can see in the fields here we have this one month and revenue. So just hit that and your pie chart is going to show up like this. So you can see now we have our sum of total revenue by month here, and now you can see which month brought you the most revenue, right? And if you want, you can also change this one to a currency. So you can see now you have these different categories. You can see total revenue here in 2004 March was this much. So you can see the percentages as well, right? So yeah, so you can see like on each month how much revenue you brought in, and basically visualize your data. Okay, let's go ahead and add another one here, another visual here. And for this one, actually I think we need to select the data set. Okay, so I'm going to go here, right, and I will add a new data set here. Add a new data set, and we want to select here sales by rep. Select this, okay, and then now we can let's also add another one for product sales, right? There we go. So when we close this, you can see that we have all of our three views here. So we have the first one here with the revenue. Let's go for the second one with product sales, right? So product sales, let's add another visual here. So this is going to create a visual here. And with this one, let's go with maybe a let's go with probably something like a heat map for this. So you hit a heat map, and then you just select the field names that you want to show up in your heat map here. Okay, there we go. So this one is also sum of total sales by product line, and we can do this one as currency as well. Okay, and then let's add another visual here for sales by rep, right? So we can do sales by rep, and then we can add the visual here, and we can do this one maybe vertical pie chart like so, and then we can just add the sales rep here and the total sales as well, and we can put this one to be currency as well. Okay, all right, lovely. Now you have your three charts here for your data, right? And I'm not going to just dig deeper into this. I will just go ahead and publish. So say once you have done all your visualizations and you are good with the data, then you can proceed now and publish this so that your team can use this for their monthly analysis or just general analytics as they wish. So to publish this so that everybody else can see it, then you can go ahead and do here publish, and basically this is going to publish your data now. And maybe this one we can call this one monthly analysis, monthly analytics. I don't know, you can name this one. Just make sure that it makes sense, right, when you do it. And just go ahead and publish the dashboard here. And now once you publish that dashboard, it's going to show up right here. Okay, so you can see now that you have your dashboard here, and from there you can proceed and now see how your data looks like. So for example, just looking at the sum of total revenue by month, you can see that the most category here that we're getting sales from is this other one. So I don't know what this one other means. So probably this one was sold, I don't know. because we have the rest of the months here. But you can see that this category of other here is bringing new data, so you can drill into this and see why is this the case, right? And then if you go to this category here, you can see that probably here the classic cars sold the most with about 3 million, right? Okay. And then you go to the sales rep, you can see here we have Leslie Jennings selling the most amount of sales with close to 1 million sales, right? And then it's now just go through this chart here, and you see that the list salesperson here is Martin, who made around 46,000. So now you can see that we were able to you know, basically ingest our data to S3, loaded it to Athena, and then from there we use DBT to write our queries, and from there we are able to successfully now visualize this data. Alright, so this is pretty neat, and you know, with DBT you can again use DBT to transform your queries, and as a tool, is a great transformation tool that you can use to transform data in your database or data warehouse, and basically you can maintain it, version control it, and it makes it much easier. So again, the only thing that we had to do there was load our data, make sure that our data was available in Athena, and then from there we went ahead to DBT, created our models, and then when we ran our models, then the tables were automatically created for us. So DBT took care of that. It was able to create the views for us. It created the schema if it wasn't there, and so we didn't have to manually do DDLs for this. DBT automatically does this, and so you can maintain now your transformation queries with DBT, and you can schedule it as needed, and basically from there you are ready to roll. Alright, so just a quick recap. In this video I walked you through the process of transforming your tables in Athena using DBT core, and this is the flowchart that we followed. We uploaded our data to S3, created a crawler in Clue to crawl these files, and then Athena is able now to see our catalog once we are able to crawl the data, and then from there we use DBT to connect to our tables in Athena, which of course have the data sitting in S3, and then eventually we went ahead and created our dashboards in QuickSight using the transformed data. And this is how our very nice dashboard looks like, and therefore we can say that we are able to successfully transform data with DBT using Athena as our database. Alright guys, I hope this video was helpful, and if it was, please give it a thumbs up, and also do subscribe to the channel so that you can stay updated for videos like this in future. Okay, I will see you then in the next video. Bye bye.